everybody, nice to have you back on board again. Welcome to SEN Builder English. Big greetings to all social economic networkers. Last week we talked about the 8 steps for building the network that are essential to build a solid, productive and profitable network. Today we are going to talk about a very important part of the cycle of momentum. Which involves a series of steps considered to be very effective in building your network. In our tool, the Guide to Success on page 30, and before you start, it is very important to understand that there are 3 basics, 3 pillars for building a solid, a stable and productive network. These 3 pillars are sponsoring, retention, and volume. The sequence is very important. The initial instruction to build a network is to sponsor people for the network. So, why is enrollment the first pillar? Because a network is built with people. It is the most important part of our business. The cycle of momentum itself is a continuous cycle that begins with the first step, which is the list of prospects, then followed by the invitation, then the business presentation, and finally with the follow-up. And when the follow-up ends, we start all over again. It is a continuous cycle. It is the one who produces the point volume in our business. It is that if you double this further to 3 to 4 people, it produces a network in continuous growth. That is why it is so important that we model, practice and internalize this cycle, because every detail of the cycle at the end brings you the result. And the result is the position within our company's incentive plan and the ability to reach the different position, which in turn brings us the financial results, and this financial result enable you to achieve any of your dreams. So today we start with the cycle of momentum. The first step in the cycle of momentum is the enrollment, the sponsoring. One of the most important things to keep in mind is that when you sponsor a new prospect, you sit down with that person to create the largest possible list of candidates. One of the most common mistakes we see is that the new candidate is asked to make a list himself, but personally doesn't sit down as a sponsor with the new candidate to compile a list of prospects and thereby cause them the possibility to create the largest candidate list they can have. Therefore, it is very important that we take the time to compile this list with at least 100 prospects, 100 names. And when you enroll someone who is new, sit down with them and do the same. While sitting with the new person, you model and teach this new entrepreneur to write down as many names as possible. Because this new person generally only writes down the people that he thinks are suitable for the business, and will eliminate many people, because the way people sometimes do think, they think that the people on the list is a professional or maybe an entrepreneur who already has money, and because of this reason it will not work out. This and many other reasons exclude people from putting them on the list. For this reason, it is very important that you as a sponsor sit down with this person who has just entered the business. Together, create a list of at least 100 people. Why 100 people? Because the larger the list is, the more likely it is that this new person with whom we have developed the list will find new partners and new candidates from whom the leaders we will duplicate will emerge, and who will help people, the network, to grow up. We think this point is very important. Large lists represent big networks, because if this multiplies, you will find more and more people with large lists. As your organization grows, which is a greater opportunity for a larger group of people to present our business opportunity. It is therefore very important to create the largest possible list of prospects. Find your candidates on your cell phones, in your annual agenda. Write them on your prospect list. Write down on this list all of your friends, all of your relatives, all of your colleagues, all of your neighbors, all of your acquaintances. Make a detailed list. Add more prospects to the list every single day. It is the first step that opens the cycle of momentum. And we would say it is one of the most important ones. If there's no list of prospects, we have to ask ourselves with whom we're gonna talk with, how we're gonna build our network, who will go on further, whom we're gonna introduce the business to. And because of that, take your time to create this list of prospects. The more information we mention on this list, the easier it will be to invite these new prospects. That will be a very interesting topic we're going to discuss about in our next edition next week. The details which should be listed at least are the following ones. Of course, the name, surname, telephone number, email, nationality, place of residence, and more specific details about these possible prospects, as this is crucial information to be able to successfully invite the candidate, like for example their age, because depending on how old the person is, we address them differently. If single or sharing life with someone, because in order to save time and energy, it is highly recommended if one person is married or lives with someone, that both are present in the business presentation and can therefore make a good decision together. Working in what and if they are working, because it makes a big difference to present this fantastic business to an unemployed person, an employee, a self-employed person, or an entrepreneur. And therefore different approaches should be used. Among other things, the information should also have at least three reasons why you would like to have this person in your business. Since we do not play around with people and their dreams, so we do take this very seriously. And finally, the note should also be written down how you got to know this person, or which kind of relationship you have with this person. For example, this is my brother, this is my niece, or some family. You know, that we're able to prepare effectively to invite them to a business presentation. Another mistake we have encountered over time is that people burn most people on the list in advance. So, since they have just registered in this business, they are giving away too much information. They are talking about the products, they are talking about the network marketing industry, they talking about money, and this causes people to make a judgment. And based on this judgment people make during the invitation process, they then tell us that they will go to the business presentation but never arrive. They will be in the Zoom conference, but they are never there. Or they just don't accept the invitation because they think we will invite them to a business to sell products. Why? Because we talk about the products first. So they made a judgment. If that person doesn't like sales, we will limit that candidate who could have attended a business presentation. If we did it right, make it a habit to meet new people every day so that you can continuously and constantly expand your list. There are 4 different lists that we initially develop. The first list is the hot list. This list consists of people who are very close to us, people we already know very well, like our best friends, family members, employees, neighbors, colleagues. It is the list of people on whom we have the greatest influence. The list of acquaintances These are the people who know us and we know them, but they are no close relationship. And there's the distant list. It's a list of people who live in other cities or even in other countries, and it is so important to keep adding people to this list, as when time comes right, we will contact them to present the opportunity. And there's the list of referrals also. The list of referrals is the list that continues to grow through the new team members. As soon as we offer someone the business opportunity and that person says no at the moment, and we are able to get a yes from this no. How can we get that yes? Well, if someone says no, we ask them, if you would have said yes, whom would you have spoken to about this opportunity? Whom you would think about of, who has the ability, is a good candidate, or has previously worked in a network marketing business, or maybe is an entrepreneur or a person who likes business and wants to make progress. Whom you would think of. He will tell me what people he thinks of, and then I will ask him, can you please give me these names as referrals so I can sit down with that person and present the business opportunity? And at this point, we always get a no or a yes. Very good team members come out of good referrals if we get used to the ability to continuously receive referrals from people who are not primarily interested in the project, or even from those who are only interested in the product. There's a fifth list, and the development of this list is very important. It is a list that we create with the new partner to evaluate the top 20 prospects on the list. Because if we want to start a company that is growing quickly, we will work with those people who have influences that know a larger number of people with leadership skills, who may have previously worked in other network marketing companies, or are entrepreneurs. If those people decide to go into the business with our new team member, we will grow faster in business. When a new team member activates a new person, your company gains speed because he has brought a new person on board. You already know that your business is running, and that motivates him to look for more and more and more people. One of the skills that network entrepreneurs need to develop is the ability to meet new people, as we mention in our education system and in the Guide to Success. We illustrated with the traffic light concept. Well, a traffic light has red light, yellow light, and green light. The red light means stop. Do not go further. Do not proceed. The yellow light means continue, but with caution. And the green light means keep going. There's a free passage shown. So let's take some time to see how the concept works and how to meet new people. We believe one of the most important things to do to develop stability is to do it every day. I personally didn't have this habit in the beginning, but the habit and repetition of doing gradually gave me the ability to develop it. It will also happen to you. You will feel happy and successful to meet new people every day. And that happens in daily life. What do I mean? For example, if you visit a doctor, you can wait there for half an hour or maybe even sit in the waiting room for an hour. Most of the time, another patient is also waiting there. It is a great opportunity to start a conversation with one or two people and get to know each other. Or if you go to the bank and there's a group of people waiting in the line, this is another way to meet people while you're waiting too. Or when you go to school to pick up your kids, or you will definitely, surely meet other parents there too, which gives you another opportunity to start a conversation with. And also this very attractive way of getting to know people, talking about social media like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, etc. Getting used to this other way of contacting people using apps like Zoom, OBS, Facebook Live. Take advantage of the situations in daily life as much as possible to get to know new people. There are two very important concepts that you need to learn. The first concept, ask questions. And the second concept, tell your story. It's fairly easy to say hello. Make a first conversation about it. You should be able to ask about the family, whether they have children, what they do for living, what hobbies they like, and so on. And you start talking about yourself while getting to know each other and starting having a good relationship. Well, what will you mention in your story? Among other things, maybe that you are currently working, that you are still having your job, but also that you met an incredible team of entrepreneurs called social economic networkers, which are helping you to move forward in these moments of financial changes, to be happy and successful. And all of this thanks because of a team that shows you the way to prosperity and financial freedom. In other words, you are not depending from a boss or a government to decide to live the life you want to live with your family. All of that will create interest and curiosity in this new person you're getting to know. One of the most biggest mistakes that are made when we meet new people is talking directly about network marketing, talking directly about products, talking directly about for life. And so we lose this possible customer or the potential leader because he has made a judgment. And according to this judgment of his, he is closing himself up to the business opportunity, or believes that we have a personal interest in this person because we want to present him a business. But now it is something completely different if you give them the opportunity to meet and get to know people. You tell your story through a normal and up-to-date conversation, and thereby the person who listens can observe how the different interests and thoughts of the candidate are awakened. Therefore, we make the comparison with the traffic light. When you have a conversation with someone and that person has a bad attitude, doesn't respond, when that person doesn't have the right energy to speak to you, we call this red light. Or say, stop immediately and end the conversation. There will be more people in this world to whom we can talk to. Then the concept of the yellow light. These are the people who don't, let's say, answer right away. They don't respond with a certain degree of openness. You have to be careful here, because we may not know us well enough right now. Remember that you just started the conversation. There are people who may be very reclutant, or still you just don't trust, because we ask a lot and talk a lot and there's nothing bad about it. So be careful while continuing the conversation with that type of person. Try to continue the conversation slowly but surely. Never apply pressure. And there's the concept of the green light. The green light concept is that concept you get on with one person straight away, since you can talk to each other freely right from the start. He tells you about his life and you tell him about your life, and a very good relationship develops immediately. They are open, enterprising people who have a very good attitude during the conversation, and this is a great door, a great opportunity that opens up for you, so that if you tell a little of your story, you can arouse interest in the candidate and make an appointment to invite him to a business presentation. Never forget, the person will always ask you, What is this all about? Tell me a little bit more about it. And you will answer this objection. To tell you exactly what it is about, I need a little bit of your time, which I unfortunately do not have personally at this moment. However, I know that you will be very interested because you have a great attitude towards the opportunity we are developing. It is a project in which a great team is at your side, helps us and shows us the way that I would also like to show you. Yes, it is very important to tell your story and tell him that you have met a team of people who will teach you how to live a life of wealthy and prosperity nowadays. People who will also help you to participate in the new way of generating income. How you can achieve a better income for yourself and your family working less hours. And if you mention this to someone that with less hours of work they can achieve a better financial situation for him and his family, many people will be interested in learning a little bit more about it. So make an appointment. So we are going to develop the art of getting to know new people, because that's a skill every networker has to develop to always have prospects on his or on their lists. Next week we will talk about the second step of the cycle of momentum. This will be all about how to effectively invite people. We're looking forward to see you at our next edition of SEN Builder English next week.